Well, welcome everybody to this year's most unusual graduation celebration for the School of Journalism and Media Studies. Earlier at 12, we had this same ceremony for journalism, advertising, and media studies students, but there's only one area of emphasis that gets its own, and that's, of course, PR, best for last. So for those who don't know me, I'm Temple Northup. I'm the director of the School of Journalism and Media Studies, and this is my first year as the director, so I'm super excited to finally see students in person, not in squares, not with virtual backgrounds or anything else. Actually getting to see you face to face is pretty exciting. Before we begin, I'd like to do a land acknowledgement. A land acknowledgement is a formal statement that recognizes and respects Indigenous peoples as traditional stewards of a given geographic area and the enduring relationship that exists between Indigenous peoples and their ancestral territories. For San Diego State, we recognize the land as Kumeyaay. We stand upon a land that carries the footsteps of millennia of Kumeyaay people. They are a people whose traditional lifeways intertwine with the worldview of earth and sky in a community of living beings. This land is part of a relationship that has nourished, healed, protected, and embraced the Kumeyaay people to the present day. It is part of a worldview founded in the harmony of the cycles of the sky and balance in the forces of life. For the Kumeyaay, red and black represent the balance of those forces that provide for harmony within our bodies as well as the world around us. As students, faculty, staff, and alumni of San Diego State University, we acknowledge this legacy from the Kumeyaay. We promote this balance in life as we pursue our goals of knowledge and understanding. We find inspiration in the Kumeyaay spirit to open our minds and hearts. It is the legacy of the red and black. It is the land of the Kumeyaay. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge what a challenge the past 14, 15 months has been. It's been hard for all of us. Some of us have lost more than others, a family member, a friend, a coworker, a neighbor. But even if you're lucky and haven't lost someone close, we have all lost time and relationships. And so I'd like to take just a brief moment of silence to remember and honor all of those things that we've lost over the last year. But today, we celebrate you and the many accomplishments of all our students who now join a list of all our amazing alumni. And in a few moments, you'll get to hear from some of the students and you'll get to hear from one of my faculty colleagues, all celebration of you being here today. But of course, you didn't make it here alone. So as you celebrate and relish this moment, think of all the people who helped you get to this spot, whether it's your mom, your dad, your uncle, your grandparents, your friends, your relatives by blood or otherwise. Be sure to turn around and thank them as they celebrate you. Also proud are the many JMS faculty and staff, some of whom are here today. You'll hear from one in a minute. We've got Jayla in the back, Christy for those who've done an internship recently. We're all here to celebrate you. And a quick thank you also to our sponsors, PRSA and Allison and Partners. Later this week on Thursday, you'll have the official graduation, the SDSU commencement. And have you ever wondered and taken a moment to ask yourself, why is it called commencement? It's kind of an interesting word to use. If you look what's happening, you might think it's the ending of something. You're done being a student. So why are they calling it a commencement? And the reason is that nothing is actually ending. In fact, it's really just beginning, because on that day, you move from being a student to an alum. And that is a lifelong relationship. Your time as a student has only been a few years for most of you, but your life as an alum is an entire lifetime that you get to build this relationship. So there are no endings, they're just new beginnings. And as you go into the world, I have one little piece of advice. At JMS, we like to say that we make storytellers. We say that because storytelling is at the heart of what all of our different majors do. But I want to challenge you to be more than storytellers. I want you to be change makers, whether it's in your job, your free time, Don't accept the world for what it is, but work to change the world to become what it can be. When I was in college, one of the most important lessons I learned from a professor was to constantly ask the question, who made that rule? When we look at our society, someone crafted all the rules that are governed that we accept, and they usually are created to someone's benefit. So don't be afraid to stop and say, who made that rule? And is it the right one to be living by? And so challenge them. Use what you've learned here in JMS and at SDSU to use storytelling to change those rules and to shatter expectations. I have a lot of faith in each and one of you. So as you head off to change the world, don't forget us, stay in touch. I want to know what you're up to. Connect on LinkedIn or whatever social media exists in 10 years from now. And now I'd like to invite Dr. Patrick Thalen to come forward. He's one of your beloved PR professors, and so I invited him to say a few words.
Thank you, Dr. Northup, and thank you to the students, parents, faculty, staff who have made it to this celebration or who are watching the live broadcast via Zoom. The first thing I want to say is congratulations. You have all worked extremely hard to get to this point in your life, and you should feel very proud of yourselves. These past 15 months have been extraordinarily difficult, stressful, and even bizarre. Yet, you all managed to successfully pull through. And that is an incredible accomplishment. You know, I may be mistaken, but based on my experience when I was graduating from college, I have the feeling that many of you are probably feeling nervous right now and are asking yourselves, what's next? Now that I'm finally graduating, what should I do for the rest of my life? Unfortunately, I don't have the answer for you. I sincerely wish I had the wisdom to help you and give you a straightforward answer to that question, but I don't. In all honesty, nobody does. The only person that has the key to unlock that mystery is you. So if you were hoping that I would be providing some enlightening words that would answer all of your doubts regarding the future, I apologize in advance because that's just not going to happen. What I'll do instead is give you 3 pieces of advice that I would have liked to receive when I was graduating, getting my undergrad or graduate degree. Advice number 1, be a leader. Now, when I say be a leader, I'm not referring to our typical interpretation of leadership. I'm not necessarily asking you to be someone who can rally people to move toward a certain vision. What I'm really suggesting is that you become a leader of your own life. We often go through our lives living the ways others want us to live, doing the things others want us to do, saying the things others want us to say, and sometimes even believing the things others want us to believe. Don't live life trying to please others. Don't live someone else's life or someone else's dream. Find your own dream and do whatever it is you want to do. My second advice is to be authentic. When I say be authentic, I'm not talking about some manufactured authenticity consumers demand from corporations or social media influencers. I'm talking about authenticity at its core. In order to be authentic, you have to take the time to discover who you really are and what you really want to do. And this, my friends, is extremely hard because it can be scary and requires courage. When we aren't being authentic with ourselves, we're simply a reflection of the reality that others thrust upon us. Construct the reality you desire. It may be hard at first, but it will certainly be worth it at the end. Finally, my third advice is to focus on the present. We spend a lot of time thinking about the future. It's a mistake. One of the things that this pandemic has taught us is that we can't control what lies ahead of us. 18 months ago, none of us would have imagined that we'd currently be living the way we do. Just like we know that the past cannot be changed, we have to accept that our future cannot be controlled. When we spend our lives worrying about the future, we don't appreciate what we're doing today. All we have is the present. The past, that's already behind us. The future doesn't even exist. Embrace the present, live in the moment, and appreciate all of the small things life gives you. So to sum it all up, be a leader, be authentic, and focus on the present. Thank you, congratulations, and best of luck with your journey in life.
So next, I'm going to invite a couple of students to stage. They represent who the faculty chose as the top students in their particular area. So first, I'd like to invite Bailey Ucker, who was chosen the top PR student.
Sorry. Thank you all for nominating me for this amazing honor. It's crazy to think that my time at SDSU is coming to a close. And just 4 years ago, I had no idea what life after college would look like. But here I am and more prepared than I ever thought I would be. From Alexa Mocalis helping me plan out classes within the first few weeks of being in college, or waking up for an 8 a.m. to see the smiling face of Jayla Lee, learn the fundamentals of PR, or the infamous JMS 585 capstone course, where Dr. Sweetser taught us the Sweetser way immediately, but providing the most hands-on experience that I didn't even know college could provide. Plus so many more amazing teachers and courses along the way. I'm so thankful and so confident to say that I'm well prepared after college for this moment. And the JMS program and San Diego State University prepared me for a successful career ahead. Who knows, maybe I'll have my own PR firm in San Diego in a few years. Thank you again for this honor, and thank you, San Diego State.
Thank you so much. And now I'd like to invite Chanel to stage, who is graduating from our LDT Master's program.
Graduation, a noun, 4 syllables, indescribable emotions. Some of you may be over the moon, happy, excited for the next step of your journey into your professional career or continued studies. Others may just be glad it's over. An immense wave of relief washes over you. You are finally done. A few of you may be nervous or scared, unsure of what lies ahead, especially in this ongoing pandemic. Uncertainty is the only certainty. As a graduate student, let me tell you, post-graduation depression is real. I say this not to discourage you, but to encourage you. It is okay not to have everything figured out, or at least that's what my therapist tells me. I have so much faith in every single one of you sitting here today. Why? Because you survived a freaking global pandemic. Your agility, flexibility, and capability to pivot, and I guess your newly acquired degree as well, will help equip you for the journey ahead. Trust in the process, and most of all, trust in yourself. Before I wrap this up, I'd like to thank some very important people. If I've learned anything from completing a graduate program during a world pandemic, it would be that I am incredibly loved and supported. Thank you to my family and friends who have helped me during some very difficult times, from proofreading my papers to being there when I needed a stiff drink. I appreciate you all so much, for those watching at home and for those here today. Next, this honor as an outstanding LDT student is as much as my peers as it is mine. So I share this honor with Emily here today and Antonio, whom I worked very closely with on projects. Both of you have an incredible work ethic, and I am humbled to be part of a graduating cohort of such bright individuals. Lastly, the LDT faculty. MJ, Rebecca, Dan, and Krisha, it has been such a pleasure to learn from you all. MJ, you have been there for me since day one. You are my professor, mentor, and a dear friend. Rebecca, through your class, I have developed a deeper respect for academic research, which also fosters my passion for lifelong learning. Dan, learning should be fun, and you didn't just teach a class on it. You embody that very philosophy. Krisha, rigorous, inspiring, and innovative are adjectives I would use to describe the final wrap-up of my program experience with you. I hope to play it forward and contribute to the LDT as an alum. Congratulations, JMS class of 2021. Before you move on, take a deep breath. Relish in this accomplishment. You have finally graduated. A verb, 4 syllables, indescribable emotions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So at this time, I'll invite Dr. Patrick back on stage, as he's going to read your names. And here's how it'll work. So he'll say your name, and then everybody should have submitted a bio. And so that's what he'll be reading. I did not edit anybody's, so some were very short, some were a little bit longer. And so when he calls your name, walk up. You can stand, there's a little X here on stage if you want to look right into the camera for those watching at home. And so he'll read your bio, round of applause. Then you can actually go back around. There are new t-shirts for all the graduates, with some new branding that we're working on slowly rolling out, and PR people understand the importance of a brand. And so you go around there, and there's a photographer who can take your picture, and then you can take your seat, and of course you can take more pictures afterwards. So Patrick, if you'd like to present the names of our graduates.
All right, here we go. First, we present our 2 graduate students with us today. Chanel Pangdi, native San Diegan and Globetrotter with 26 countries and counting. Proud plant parent to many green babies. Currently working at Illumina as an instructional designer in quality training and development. Passionate about education and innovative learning solutions using emerging technologies. Forever a lifelong learner. Congratulations. Emily Michelle Roisin. Originally from the Boston area, Emily has been living on the warmer coasts for almost 10 years. She worked full-time in human resources while completing the LDT MA program. After graduation, she hopes to be more involved in developing employee training programs, especially training programs related to diversity, equity, and inclusion. She is also looking forward to getting her evenings and weekends back and plans to spend her free time reading for pleasure and playing board games with friends. Next, I present our public relations majors. Paulina Aguilar. I love fashion PR. My goal is to work for a luxury brand in their PR social media department or for the mass media company Condé Nast. I am currently working for RK PR as their social media and influencer coordinator, and I plan to keep growing in this industry. What I like to do for fun is go out with my family, visit new restaurants, go to the beach, take photos, watch the sunset, and obviously go shopping. Rodisa Baden. I'm a first-generation college student that has worked multiple jobs at a time during school and started my own 2 small businesses. I started an organic beauty line called Kissed by Diza and a desserts and business called Desserts by Diza. I plan on pursuing one of my dreams of going to esthetician school after graduation to become a beautician and use my PR skills for my own businesses. I'm also a very family-oriented person and have done all this for them. Nicholas Brown. Nicholas will fondly remember his time with the School of JMS and is eternally grateful to the fantastic faculty and lovely peers. Tamaya Cook. Okay. Sophia Durant. Sophia's favorite memory in the JMS program is working with an incredible group of 11 other women on their capstone PR campaign for Goodwill San Diego. After graduation, she will be moving to Madrid, Spain to teach English for the upcoming school year. Kelsey Digus. Kelsey is from Ventura, California, and moved down to San Diego her freshman year in 2017. She has made some of the best memories here while being a member of Delight and Delta Gamma. She also loves her job at Lululemon and just wrapped up an internship at Power Digital Marketing. Kelsey is eager to head into the working world with her experience under her belt and is planning on staying in San Diego for the next year. Carissa Duran. I grew up in Whittier, California with my two parents, Richard and Yolanda, and younger brother, Ricky. My dad taught me how to work hard for what I want, and my mom taught me how to dream big. Without them, I wouldn't be the young woman I am today. SDSU will forever hold a special place in my heart. I fell in love with San Diego and all the memories I created while here. Some of the memories include meeting my lifelong friends, learning how to surf, and most importantly, getting through my capstone class, JMS 585. I have pride in how far I have come in my life, and I have faith in how far I can go from here. I am more than excited for my future to unfold and to continue growing into the person I am becoming. Cassidyeisen. I transferred to SDSU in the fall of 2019 from my community college in Bakersfield. As a first-generation college student, I was thrilled to continue my education at one of the top journalism schools on the West Coast. Coming into my first semester, I was a bit apprehensive about adapting to such a foreign environment. The pressure was high. I wasn't sure where I would fit in. I was lucky to find my place within the School of JMS. After only 2 years in the program, I could not be more appreciative of the knowledge I have gained and the connections I have made along the way. Thank you to my parents for supporting me, my friends for accepting me, my peers for making college online during a pandemic more bearable, and my professors for providing me with invaluable insights and life lessons as I step into the professional world. Hats off to us graduates, we made it. Hannah Fogelstrom. I'll miss SDSU immensely, but I'm heading to Nashville for a junior publicist job at the end of June. I hope to come back to San Diego often, as I've created some very special friendships and memories over the last 4 years. If anyone is ever in Music City, you know who to call. Nene Fujimoto. After graduation, I will be moving to New York City and will be completing a postgraduate internship with Sony Music Entertainment. Julia del Carmen Gallegos. After living in London, Washington, D.C., and then to Mexico City, I moved to San Diego to attend SDSU. After graduation, I'll be heading on a countrywide road trip to visit all the national parks with my dog, Lily. Sarah Katsianis. After 4 years, 3 part-time jobs, and 2 internships, Sarah received 1 degree with no debt. She is blessed to be starting this next chapter at a global marketing firm, Open Influence, as their content marketing coordinator. She will also be publishing a poetry book later this year. Her favorite memory was submitting her last assignment and signing out of Canvas. Tyler Liebentritt. Tyler enjoys attending concerts, sporting events, and the occasional award show. Tyler plans to pursue a career in sports and entertainment PR. She is currently working for Fleischman Hillard, a highly noble global PR agency with clients like AT&T and Vans. She is grateful for her parents and hopes to be inspiring and selfless as they are. She wants to thank God and her professors for giving her amazing leadership opportunities. Additionally, a big thanks to her brother Zeke and sisters Juliana and Dominique for the endless support. Samantha Mosner. Samantha, a San Diego native, plans to work in the PR industry postgraduate and hopes to eventually do PR marketing for Disney. She loves going on yachts, as evidenced by her favorite memory, which is completing JMS 585 with her amazing team, Go JMS team, and the following day, all going on a yacht together to celebrate their amazing work. Courtney Pitillo. Courtney loved transferring into SDSU and immediately feeling at home. She made lifelong friends in her capstone class. She loves her girlies. She's thankful for all her teachers and wants to shout out and wants to shout out to Elizabeth, Patrick, thank you, and Jayla. And of course, the Queen Sweetser. Molly Rast. Molly is graduating summa cum laude with a degree in journalism, an emphasis in PR, and an interdisciplinary studies minor through the Weber Honors College. During her time at SDSU, she also held positions of both secretary and social media marketing officer for Delta Alpha Pi International Honor Society, and was a member of Alpha Phi Women's Fraternity, where she spent a year as a chapter's director of academics. Molly also worked at the Center for Research in Math and Science Education for 2 years. Daniela Roliles, who is having car issues and is joining us online. She is originally from Calexico, California. Daniela enjoys going on hikes, taking day trips to the beach, and catching a good sunset with friends. Her favorite memory from JMS is creating a campaign for PR capstone class and getting to meet great mentors, Dr. Sweetser and Professor Pexi. She's looking to work in an agency that specializes in public affairs or tech and works with communities. She's also working on earning a certificate in public relations. Marissa Taylor. After graduating, Marissa will continue to work on the PR team at the UPS store headquarters here in San Diego. In the fall, she will be a JMS graduate student. Bailey Ucker. Bailey was born in Oak Park, California, but she is here to stay. You can find her beachside in Pacific Beach or cheering on the Dodgers down here in SD. Post-graduation, Bailey is starting her career as a partnership specialist at Power Digital Marketing. Congratulations to all our graduates.
Congratulations. You know, earlier when Patrick was speaking, he talked about enjoying the moment. And so if you bear with me for a moment, people who know me, like I'm very philosophical. And I really believe in paying attention to moments because life is just a series of moments and it's really easy not to pay attention to them. And so what's crazy to me is that in the history of the universe, this moment is unique. This collection of people has never been all together with this group of people in this space, and it's never going to happen again. So this literal moment that we're passing through is the one and only time it will ever happen. And we're all here to celebrate you all. And so just take a moment to appreciate the accomplishments that you made it to the end, which in any other year is a tremendous accomplishment. And this year in particular, surviving through Zoom and everything else is incredible. So congratulations. Enjoy this moment. As a school of media, I figured the last thing we should, of course, do is do a selfie. And so if everybody will just, all the students kind of move a little bit towards the center so I can take a picture, assuming you don't mind having a picture taken. So just kind of move somewhat, gotta stay socially distanced, keep your mask on or whatever. And let me take a picture to commemorate this particular, them all down. There's a photographer, don't forget, feel free to take some pictures and enjoy your day.